Top stories: West African leaders suspend Mali from ECOWAS. 6 people severely injured as explosion rocks Mile 3 motor park in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Imo State Police Command neutralizes killers of Ahmed Gulag. Hello and thanks for joining us in Channel 12 News. My name is Idarisit Adedoku. The Republic of Mali has been suspended from all institutions of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. This is part of the resolutions adopted at the end of a one-day extraordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State Government of the sub-regional organization. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the decision followed the recent coup d'etat in the West African nation, which violated the Transition Charter.
The ECOWAS Extraordinary Summit was convened by the chairman of the Authority of the Heads of State and Government and President of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo. It was to review the prevailing socio-political crisis in Mali following the arrest, detention and subsequent resignation of the President and Prime Minister of the transition government, as well as determine the next line of action.
I'm thus using this opportunity to reiterate, on behalf of ECOWAS, our continued commitment to the peaceful transition in Mali with the basic goal of restoring democratic government and working for the stability of Mali and of our region. We must critically examine the dynamics of the current situation and make informed decisions.
At the end of a closed-door session that lasted about 4 hours, President Muhammadu Buhari and the other West African leaders condemned in strong terms the coup d'etat, describing it as a violation of the Transition Charter. Consequently, apart from suspending Mali from ECOWAS, the leaders also insist that a new inclusive government be formed to proceed with the transition program. A new civilian prime minister, they also said, be nominated immediately. The summit reaffirmed the need to respect the transition period of 18 months, stating that February 27th, already announced for presidential election, be absolutely maintained. The ECOWAS leaders reiterated the earlier decision that the head of the transition, the vice president and prime minister should not be candidates for the election. And apart from resolving to accompany the transition process in Mali, the leaders urged the international community to support the country towards the successful implementation of the transition program. They mandated the ECOWAS mediator and former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, to return to Mali within 1 week to engage stakeholders on the resolutions adopted. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari, before leaving Accra, granted audience to his Gambian counterpart, Adama Barrow. Details of their discussions were not made public. President Buhari has since returned to Abuja. Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And moving on, a vote of confidence has been passed on the transition chairman, Abeokuta South Local Government Area, Ayo Shomide, for embarking on various developmental projects under his watch, which have lifted the status of the local government council. The commendation was given by non-political groups at a press conference held at the council secretariat at NTA Abeokuta. Muiwa Omomi's report is hereby presented.
This non-political group, which comprises community leaders, market men and women, as well as artisans, lauded the transition chairman of Abeokuta South Local Government, Ayo Shomide, for the positive impact he had made at the premier local government since he assumed office a year ago. The spokesperson for the group, Toyosi Enirolobo, described Shomide as visionary leader who had manifested exemplary qualities in the saddle of Abeokuta South Local Government, noting his giant strides in the area of infrastructural development as exceptional.
Honorable Ayo Shomide has demonstrated himself as good team leader by bringing people together from beginning to the end of different projects.
They enjoined the people to support the government at the state and local government levels to achieve more in governance.
We, I repeat, we have deemed it necessary and fit to declare and endorse support for the Transition Committee Chairman to continue his good work as the Chairman of Abeokuta South Local Government.
The group, however, urged the people of Abeokuta South Local Government and the public to have trust in the caretaker chairman, Ayosomide, who they noted is running transparent government for the good of all.
Meanwhile, 6 people severely injured following an explosion at Mile 3 Motor Park in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Let's join our correspondent for the situation report.
Eyewitness account at the Mile 3 Motor Park told our crew that a lady who sells fish was displaying her wares from her bag when the explosion occurred.
Though no life was lost, but we reliably gathered that some persons were injured and they have been rushed to the hospital. NTA News interacted with some of the eyewitnesses who were at the scene of this incident.
The explosion, we heard that there was a girl that carried a fish in a park. So where she dropped it, we noticed that there was an explosion from the park of the fish. So that's what happened this morning.
We experienced, unfortunately, we experienced the explosion. So we found out that there was a jumbo bag of fish that they sent to the girl. So when the girl maybe wanted to open the bag, he experienced the explosion.
We were selling, even my cousin sister was there buying fish. What I heard was the sound, a louder sound, and people started running. Everywhere scattered. Most of my colleagues that are selling spices here, they closed, but I refused to run because I wanted to witness what is going on.
One of the victims, who is currently receiving treatment at Mile 1 clinic in Port Harcourt, corroborated the story, saying they were 6 in numbers that sustained various degrees of injuries.
Due to the circumstances of the rain, of the weather, I now brought tire as usual and keep my fish because of the rain, so that water no go enter them. So all of a sudden, from nowhere, something like a bomb, or how will I put it, now explode. So out of the tire. So that was the result of this.
Men of the anti-bomb unit of the Nigerian police were at the scene of the incident to unravel the possible cause of the explosion. As at the time of this report, the State Public Relations Officer Nnamdi Omoni could not be reached to confirm the number of casualties. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
In the meantime, residents of Aba comply with the forced stay-at-home order as major streets and roads are deserted.
This is the ever-busy Ekoka Market, Kwata Abattoir, the Anambra State Secretariat, Popular Aroma Junction, the ATM outlet of some banks in Awka. Primary school pupils and students of various secondary schools were also at home as a result of the forced stay-at-home warning from the IPOB. Major roads and motor parks in Awka were not busy as road users were gripped with fears of being attacked by IPOB and MASOB members.
I hear today is Biafra Day. I have fear because I see how it is dead dry. So I say I should stay at home.
They are disturbing the state and the country. How can somebody be in overseas deceiving us?
Security agents were at strategic places in the city to ensure adequate security of life and properties. In Awka, Nwabufonwoye, NTA News.
The FCT Police Command has debunked the viral message in some sections of the social media purporting that Omoyele Sowore was shot by a female Assistant Commissioner of Police at the Unity Fountain. In a statement by the Police Public Relations Officer, FCT Command, ASP Yusuf Miriam explained that contrary to the speculations, police operatives professionally restored calm at the Unity Fountain following attempts by a group of protesters to incite public disturbance. Added that the protesters who went on the rampage were resisted by police operatives in order to prevent them from causing a breakdown of law and order. It further clarifies that there is no record of such incident as at the time of the statement. The command therefore enjoins residents to remain calm and law-abiding while reaffirming its commitment towards the protection of lives and property within the FCT. And in related development, the Imo State Police Command says the killers of Ahmed Gulag has been killed. They made this known in a statement signed by the police public relations officer, Bala Elkana. He says following a distress received by the Imo State Police Command on the gruesome murder of Ahmed Gulag, police special forces made up of intelligence response team, police mobile force and tactical units from the command were deployed to the scene at Obiagu Junction at Ngopala local government area of Imo State with clear instruction to identify and apprehend the perpetrators of the act with a view to bringing them to justice. Eyewitnesses' accounts, especially the accounts given by the driver of the vehicle that was conveying Ahmed Gulag to the airport before the attack, gave a vivid description of the assailants and the vehicles they used in carrying out the attack. It says having established the identity of the assailants and the description of the vehicles used in carrying out the attack, the team further gets details of the instruction the hoodlums went. With further lead, the team was able to establish the location of the suspects. The suspects were rounded up at Afo Njiogugu Junction of Mbise local government area, where they were disturbing confiscated onions believed to have been loaded from the north to locals. The statement further indicates that on citing the police, the hoodlums provided security coverage to those sharing the onions, opened fire on the police team, but the police officers swiftly returned the fire. The 6 hoodlums who carried out the killings and 4 other members of their gang were fatally injured, while 3 of the 4 vehicles used in attacking Gulag were recovered. Items recovered also include 3 AK-47 rifles, 1 pistol, 5 AK-47 magazines, and 92 rounds of live ammunition and criminal charms. The assailants were identified as members of the proscribed IPOB and ESN. According to the statement, the driver who drove late Ahmed Gulag and a co-victim who survived have all identified the dead body of the IPOB ESN members positively as the attackers, and also identified the 3 vehicles recovered as those used by the attackers. During the encounter, 2 of the police armored personnel carriers were riddled with bullets but survived the gun battle. And you're still on to Channel 12 News. More news after the break. Please stay with us.
Ajaye go gym. You won't go shake your body. Instead they make it calm down. He the farm say he sabi. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh. Ajaye. Wekele, arubo tekele. Who can service the matter?
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi is indicating independence of the judiciary and fair hearing for justice dispensation. Governor Fayemi gave the indication at the swearing-in of the acting chief judge of the state, Justice Oyewole Adeyeye. Kola Adebubuye reports.
Governor Fayemi emphasized the need for judicial independence to ensure promotion and entrenchment of the rule of law for adequate justice dispensation, while stressing the need for the executive and legislature to provide necessary backing to sustain the judicial system. Governor Fayemi called on the National Judicial Council (NJC) to make case for the upward review of salaries and allowances of judicial workers as part of their agitation for judicial autonomy. He challenged the acting chief judge to maintain a standard of professional competence and integrity and dispense justice to all manners of people without fear or favor.
Given current concerns about security, we simply cannot afford a situation where persons accused of serious crimes cannot be speedily processed through the criminal justice system.
The acting Chief Judge, Justice Adeyeye, appreciated the governor for the confidence reposed in him and promised to discharge his duties effectively. The new acting Chief Judge, Justice Adeyeye, replaced the immediate past Chief Judge, Justice Ayodeji Daramola, who retired having attained the mandatory age of retirement. In Ado-Ekiti, Kola Adebabuyi, NTA News.
And on sports updates, let's join Bade Adeleye for more in the world of sports.
Many thanks for joining us on Sports Update. I am Bade Adeleye. Ahead of the first Northern Nigeria Sports Conference, scheduled for 8th to 10th July 2021, a 30-member organizing committee for the successful hosting of the event has been inaugurated in Abuja. Chairman of the conference, Aruna Garuba, charged the members to be steadfast by doing their best to make it a reality.
In the northern parts of Nigeria, need to wake up from their slumber and encourage the youth to see sports as a unifying factor, avenue for creating wealth and preventing them from involving themselves in criminal activities.
On to the court now. Hot cold male and female basketball teams have emerged men and women's champions of the Maiden Bikers Rave basketball tournament, which held at Old Parade Ground, Gariki, Abuja. Hot cold male defeated City Chiefs in the men's final, while their female counterparts edged out City Sparks in the women's final of the one-week championship aimed at fighting drug abuse in the country.
They have taken themselves away from abuse of illicit substances, which is what exactly the NDLA is campaigning against.
And to tennis, Naomi Osaka has been told she could be expelled from the French Open if she continues a media boycott. Osaka had been announced last Wednesday that she would not be participating in mandatory media interviews due to mental health concerns, refused to show up for a post-match conference following a first-round victory over Romanian Patricia Maria Tig on Sunday. The four-time Grand Slam singles champion has already been fined $15,000 for her action. And that does it on Sports Update. I am Bade Adeleye.
And Sports Update wraps up Channel 12 News. Thank you for watching. I'm Idarisit Adedoku. Bye for now.